Welcome back everyone to the first episode of Take Me Out End of the World special. We are back after a 30-year sabbatical for a charitable cause, the future and survival of London.
Exactly. It's no secret that London is at the brink of total extinction.
Sad times.
In 2020, we decided to put a stop to the show as we got fewer and fewer candidates. People got increasingly disillusioned with the concept of dating and relationships. No more romance, no more dating, no more love.
And as a result of everyone being so antisocial, people deciding to delay marriage and generally being commitment phobes, the population of London is now on the verge of extinction.
And now, here we are, 30 years later, we are down to a worrisome 4 people left in the city. London is positively dying, and Take Me Out, in cooperation with the government's Department of Procreation, are here to bring some of that love, sparkle and magic to the lives of our last 4 Londoners.
So here, without any further ado, let's meet the contestants.
So, on the stage we have 3 beautiful ladies, the remaining 3, Olivia, Andrea and Tallulah. And on the other side of the stage we have the man of the night, and indeed the only man left in London, Boris. How are you tonight? Feeling excited?
I'm okay. Been better. Rather be at home. So bright here.
Okay. Let's not beat around the bush and get right down to it. First things first though, tell us. We're dying to know, how did it get to this? I mean, what happened that you, indeed all of London, gave up on love and romance? Boris, as the last man left, can you maybe talk us through how the situation got so bad?
Hi there. So, I guess over time maintaining any relationship became really hard, and no one had the time to meet up and talk and, not friends, and especially not girls on dates. I mean, even sharing eye contact on the tube or small talk with a stranger became like the hardest thing to do, and I just thought it would be a lot easier to keep to myself, and this is actually the first time I've spoken to someone in years.
Right, how absurd. How about you ladies? Surely it must have been so easy for you to meet a bunch of eligible bachelors out there, so why didn't you?
If I'm being completely honest, I just feel that love and relationships are obsolete. I mean, I've never felt the need to be with anyone, and I have everything I need just by myself. And if I need someone to lean on or cuddle with or whatever, I have my boyfriend pillow. And a fair amount of romance novels and erotica to get me through the night. I mean, I'm happy just by myself, and isn't that all that matters?
And don't get me started on the fuck boys. You said it'd be easy for us to meet nice and eligible bachelors. Ha! Don't get me started. Amen, sister.
I'm sorry, fuckboys? What's that?
The epidemic of the male millennials, innit? They were everywhere, pretending to be caring and loving, pretending to want a relationship, but in truth, all they wanted was to fuck you and fuck with you, your body and mind. So why even try? If you can do all the things a guy can do by yourself, sometimes even better and more efficiently.
Well, that's all nice and good, but now the government is forced to intervene and take action to get you guys to do the deed and plant some seeds.
So, in light of the circumstances and the responsibility that lies on your shoulders, how do you feel about this setup? One of you has to go home with Boris, and well, let's call it what it is. You have to go home and procreate, not for your sake, but the sake of London. The future of London is in your hands.
So, girls, your thoughts on our dashing bachelor here? Ladies? What happened? Where are they? What was going on? Dear viewers, it seems like we have come across some technical difficulties here in the studio. We will be right back in a few minutes, though. That's once we've found the ladies. They should probably mess that up.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Mosaic with me, Sara.
And me, Jenny.
Hope you've all been well since we recorded our last podcast. So what has unfolded in the last few weeks? So much tragedy and devastation. And obviously for anyone that doesn't know, there was a fire in West London, Latimer Road, and it affected everyone living in Grenfell Tower apartment block. And this really kind of touches home for me because I went to school in that borough, I went to nursery in that borough, I had my first job in that borough, and I have loads of friends that live around there. So this has hit me pretty hard, and I'm very sad and I'm disgusted, and I just hope that there's an inquiry into it and whoever's behind it gets, punished.
Well, you're not the only one. Like, the whole city, the whole community is coming together, and on one hand you see this amazing and heartwarming community spirit. People coming together and donations happening. There's so many people volunteering to help and offering these people a home when they just left, when they just lost one. But on the other hand, you have the people responsible who are dodging responsibility and refuse to acknowledge their role in it.
And let's be clear. Basically, the ones responsible are Kensington and Chelsea Tenant Management Organisation. So they're basically the landlords of this apartment, and they are filthy rich, like so rich. Apparently, there's 4 of them that are like the main managers, and they have like a salary of £650,000 amongst them, which just makes me sick. And it basically, the whole thing highlights, the housing crisis and how the working class and minorities are treated in London, being crammed in these, like cockroaches, in these high-rise, cheaply built, old buildings that have been around since the 70s. And they're just crap. They're literally just terrible. And people have just basically, they've tried to regenerate them by trying to make them look good by putting this like plastic cladding that's absolutely pointless.
Put so much money into that as well. It was, how much was it? It was like,
they did
150,000 or something.
This borough is like ridiculously rich. Like, not only is it the richest in London, it's the richest in the freaking world.
Is it?
Like, hello. Yeah, apparently they spent like 26 million on like repaving Exhibition Road for tourists. And then they can't even freaking put money where it counts to help people, live better and safely. And not only that, like, these safety hazards were brought up so many times in blogs to the landlords. Like, listen, we need to...
I think just 3 years ago, they say, you know what, this is so dangerous. The fire safety regulations, they don't exist in this building. It's so unsafe. And, they got a response along the lines of, oh no, it's all cool, just don't worry about it.
Yeah, just continuously ignored them.
And look at what happened. And no one's willing to take any responsibility, and it's just so disgusting. But, there's so much anger, and people are finally sort of speaking up. Not finally, but, they're taking to the roads, protesting, and I think just...
Yeah, they are, and...
And
I think a lot of people, anyone that's been around, they're like big protests that look like, I don't know, apparently they want Teresa's head on a stick, and they're trying to like get to Teresa. It's like a massive mob, but fair play, to be honest. Imagine losing your friend or family to something that could have been prevented.
Absolutely.
Are you crazy? Like, oh my God. But
such a stupid loss.
And also the massive difference between Corbyn and Teresa, like the way they reacted to the
I know,
to the whole thing.
Even the Queen was there and was like talking to me. I was like, the Queen, she's like, I've always thought of her as, ice cold and heartless, and even she went, and May was not even there. And when she was there, she was just sort of like glazing through it and like not responding, not interacting with the people, not listening to their stories and their problems. Whereas Corbyn was on the spot and he was trying his best.
Hugging people,
But then obviously you had, haters going, oh, he's just using this tragedy to gain more votes and, to win.
That's bullshit. I think he's genuinely a good person.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
Yeah.
I mean, when I just see him on TV, I feel a lot more reassured than when I see Teresa.
Yeah.
Because he just seems like a human person with
like
feelings and morals. Yeah, one of us. Someone who actually genuinely cares. So, I don't know. I just feel like we need someone who's like at the right side of politics and even history. Like, he's done a lot of activism in his life. He stood up for for injustice, and he's just a great person.
Yeah.
And we need someone like that who just invests in the people on every kind of level.
Yeah.
There was also Adele and Rita Ora. They were there at the scene helping out, because I know Rita Ora was brought up in that area. She went to the college next to my school, so it's quite personal to them. And Adele as well. Obviously she didn't tell the press, she just went like covertly or whatever and did her thing and helped out. And it's great, like so many people are helping, but the thing is, like, is it enough? We don't even know the figures at this point. We don't know how many people have died. We don't know how many people have survived.
Missing. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. It's so sad.
I also remember Lily Allen was on site, and she was giving an interview with, I think it was News Time, and they just cut her off in the middle because she was politicizing it. It's like, yeah, she's politicizing the whole affair because politics is the base of this.
Yeah, of course. I think also she was kind of egging on or encouraging riots. That's another reason why they chopped her off, because she was like, people are gonna riot, they are. And I don't know, we'll see how it unfolds over the next few days, but it's absolutely fucking disgusting, I have to say that.
It does.
The way they've been treated, and also the way that they're treating the situation now. Like, apparently a lot of the victims have just been checked into hotels and given £10. Are you crazy? Like, £10? Yeah. And apparently, like, Philip Hammond said that they've put aside £5 million for the victims, but where is this money?
Yeah.
Like, they haven't seen it, no one's seen it, so what is actually going on? It's just a joke, just too many lies and just too much apathy, and just it's a joke. But I mean, if you go down there, obviously the atmosphere is extremely quite tense. People are going down praying, people are sharing their stories and just seeing what's going on, so it's great to see that solidarity. Let's hope it continues and it doesn't bubble up into too much anger, but then at the same time they're right to be angry.
Exactly. I mean, I think it is one of the, if you can find something good in this, it is the display of solidarity and sort of community spirit that you see displayed. It's really, really amazing how many people got together and donated and started helping out. It's really, really amazing.
It is. And I think now they're saying to people, don't bring clothes and food, bring money. So if you can help, that's the best way to do it. But is it really? We don't know. I don't know. I don't trust the media. I don't know what to trust right now. I feel like that's why a lot of people are actually personally going down themselves.
Because they don't trust what they see. Yeah.
But well, rest in peace to all the victims, and anyone that's obviously been affected by it.
Well, moving on with something a bit less somber. Starting our podcast, which today is about dating. And since both Sara and I are such experts at this, we thought we'd give an insight into, our experiences and the stories that we've heard.
So you guys can laugh at us, basically.
Laugh with us.
I mean, I've been dying to do this subject from the beginning, just because I have so many good stories and I feel like it might be a genuinely fun topic to discuss. Yeah, and it's something that quite a lot of people do want to hear about, especially, coming from two girls from the background we come from. You can hopefully get some kind of intel about what to do or what not to do if you're a guy and you're listening. What to do and what not to do, exactly. Cool. So I think the best way, as proven by experience, the best way to get into the topic is by fan round 5 and 5. Yes. Before we start, should we tell everyone about our matchmaking service, or should we tell them later? I completely forgot about that. Yes, please do. Oh, yes. Okay, guys. So basically, in the spirit of dating and for shits and giggles, we took part in a Twitter matching service. This was literally ages ago, maybe like 6 months ago or something. Probably, it was literally when we started podcasting. So we basically, I think I found him, right? Yeah, you did. I'd never heard of him, and you're like, oh, there's this guy. Like, do you want to do it? I was like, oh, fucking hell. So basically I DM'd him and I said, me and my friend want to take part in your matchmaking service. Can you, match us up to someone or whatever and do your magic on us or whatever? And he was like, yeah, sure, send me your details. So send me your requirements, send me age, nationality, looks, what else did he say? Personality as well, I think. Like a personality trait that's most important. Yeah, exactly. So you have to say what gender you are, what gender you're looking for. Oh, yeah.
where you're located or where you know want your partner to be. And all that stuff.
Yeah.
For those who want to give it a shot themselves, it's they're on Twitter at Found Fine People. just you know, if you want to give it a shot. We don't take any responsibility, by the way, for any possible outcomes. This is not on us.
So because it kind of failed for us. But anyway, so he ended up tweeting our requirements. And he was like, if anyone responds in the next 24 hours, I think it was kind of like a burst of like updates on his wall. So like every 2 minutes he would be like, okay, this person is looking for that person is looking for this.
Yeah.
And it just went on for like half an hour or something. And he was like, okay, now the aim of the game. It was so pathetic, but we were just kind of like in on it and like excited to see what was going to happen. And then he was like, okay, well, if anyone responds, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
And then no one.
This is so sad.
No one responded. To be fair, I don't take it personally because it's not like my picture was there. It's not like, you know, they knew what they were missing out on.
You know what? Yes, okay. You know what? When I went into this, I was like, whatever, who gives a shit? This is not, you know, I'm not invested in this in any way. And then, so the last message we got from him, or I got from him, was, I tweeted, hopefully someone is interested. Radio silence, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't looking for anyone. If anyone would have responded, I would have been like, yeah, bruv, not interested. But the fact that no one did respond, I'm not gonna lie, it did bother me a tiny bit.
Okay, but to be fair, you know what made me feel better? Basically, I think it turned out to be a Nigerian matchmaking service.
How do you know that?
Because most of the requirements were like, okay, he has to live in this city in Nigeria. Like, most of them. I would say about 70%. Yeah, and I was like, oh, crap, maybe this is just for people who are, like, West African. And we're, like, the minorities. And they're like, oh, my God, yeah, that's not our taste. We're probably not their kind of thing. I don't know.
Maybe, but shouldn't that be the reason why we should be even more popular? Because they're like, that's some exotic shit.
One of a kind.
Yeah. Never had that.
They were not feeling it. No, I think, they were just looking for people in their proximity.
Probably.
They were like, F this, I'm not having a long distance relationship. I felt like that it was their like local dating voodoo witch. I don't know, there was something a bit voodoo-ish about it. Did you get that impression?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what made me think that. I think it's the way he was speaking, like just saying, like being very specific about timing, like, okay, wait till 10 p.m. and you will get a response, perhaps. I don't know, it was just really like prophetic language. I was like, okay.
Oh, that is so funny. I thought it was just a homeless guy in his pajamas. Like a really like a sado, you know, living in his mom's basement. Like,
yeah, with like
I ain't getting any, so I might as well help others.
Well, not really, just giving them false hope.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, do you know what? I would love to hear, if there are some, I would love to hear from sort of success stories and see how that sort of panned out for them, whether they actually went into
like
a
proper millionaire matchmaker,
yeah.
Patty. Also, talking about homeless people, this is really random, but just remember, did you hear about that couple who sold golden tickets to heaven? What? And they were like, I think they were homeless crackheads.
So 2 homeless people sold...
They were selling tickets to heaven and people actually believed them. They were just golden plated tickets.
What, here in the UK?
No, I think it was in the US.
Why would you go to a homeless person to buy anything, let alone a ticket to heaven? Why would a homeless person would have a ticket to heaven? Surely he would not be living on the streets if he had the fucking ticket to heaven. What is wrong with people?
I know. Gosh. I would find that hilarious, to be fair. Someone said, do you want a ticket to heaven? Like selling it to me like they were like a dealer or something.
Yeah.
Like in a hoodie in a backstreet alley. I'd be like, darling, no thanks. I'll buy something else off you, but I'm not that gullible.
Oh, I'd love to meet someone who actually bought and was just like gutted.
I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Like willingly went out to look for a fight. I was like, it doesn't matter if I die, bitch. I'm going to heaven anyways. Guess what? You're not.
No, you'd have to be seriously high on another level, like a concoction of like highly hallucinogenic drugs to literally believe that you are going to go to heaven, because of some stupid ass ticket. Come on.
That is so funny. Oh, I love that. You know what? Kudos to the couple that made the tickets. You know, that's some Donald Trump level entrepreneurship.
I know. Well, anyways, let's move on to the questions.
All right, number 1. Have you, Sara, ever walked out on a date?
Oh, no, I haven't. I mean, with my ex, I have definitely. Like, I've had an argument and then walked out. I have. But a first date, no. I mean, I've definitely had moments where I felt like I would much rather be at home, or it's been so awkward that I felt like, oh my god, there's no way back from this.
But then why did you decide to leave? Why did you decide to stay rather than just be like, you know what?
To be honest, because I just don't want to make a big deal out of it. I feel like I would rather just end things in a peaceful way. Even if it's not going to work out, I'd rather just be like, okay, it's not going to work out. That's weird. I don't know. I feel like even if someone said something really offensive to me, I'd just cuss them, but I'd stay till the end of the date. I'd like brave it out.
You would not do that.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger bitch, and if you want to leave, you can leave, but I'm staying right here, honey.
That is so funny. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why. I'd rather just stick it out till the end. Maybe I just have that mentality towards everything in life. Just stick it out till the end. Yeah.
That's interesting. I have that mentality with everything but dates, just because...
Tell us, have you walked out then?
Yes, I have. And it wasn't even tremendously bad. I mean, he did sort of call me stupid, so I was like, you know what, fam, this is it. I'm not even taking this anymore. But it was just because I was sitting there and I was listening to him mansplaining shit to me, and I was just like, you know what, this is not going anywhere. I'm clearly not going to see you after this. You don't really you don't deserve my time. You don't deserve me sticking through this, because I don't owe you anything, so I'm just going to go. I mean, I didn't just vanish. I did tell him that. I did tell him.
Vanish. Evaporate. Just left your clothes on the floor.
But yeah, no, he was just being really... Basically what happened is... this guy, I don't know why, but we just somehow started talking about... so he was of Indian descent, and that's all I know. And we started talking about Mother Teresa. For some reason, it came to the topic of, you know, I was saying how there was this aspect of, you know, missionaries having sort of this white savior complex. And he was like, well, but she isn't white, she's Indian. I was like, no,
she's not.
Mother Teresa, she's Eastern European. I don't know where exactly she's from, but she's Eastern European.
Kosovan or something.
And he was like, no, she's Indian. You're being stupid. I was like, whoa, listen.
Did he actually call you stupid?
He was like, you're uneducated. And I was like, he was like, where do you get information from? I was like, by reading the news. And he was like, oh, the news. You read the news, do you? And I was like, where do you get your information from?
Yeah, who doesn't, you weirdo?
And he was like, oh, I get my information from like the homepage of the UN. And I was like, oh, fam.
Oh god, who does that?
Oh my god, you are the most annoying human being. And he could tell from my face that I was being really annoyed. And I was sort of getting ready to just like end the state. I was like, well, you know what, when we first started talking, I thought you were really educated, but it seems you know. I was like, okay, that's it.
Oh, that put the nail in.
And I got up and I was like, you know what, I don't think this is working. I'm gonna leave.
Damn, bloody hell, that is a lot. I'm sorry, but for first date as well, to have the nerve to say that. To be fair, like, I've never had a guy who's been that blatantly rude and offensive.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I'd react in that kind of situation. But have you ever said something pretty offensive to a guy? You know, sometimes when you're nervous and you just say something and you're like, oh crap, that might have offended him.
No, I'm very careful with, especially because I'm quite a shy person. I'm very introverted, so when I say something, I like when
You've thought about it 100 times.
Once I'm really, really close with someone, I'll open up and I'll just say the stupidest things because I lose my filter. But when I'm nervous and I'm like on the first few dates, I'm very well behaved and I'm very careful of what I say and how I present myself, because I know I'm a bit crazy. But, you know, obviously when you're on a date, you just want to, you know, make a really, really good impression. So you just sort of try to curb that craziness, don't you? You're just trying to present yourself in the best light. So I don't really say things spontaneously and then sort of regret it. No. Have you?
Because I feel like... yeah, I have said stuff that's been a bit like, oh my god, why the fuck did I say that? But it is definitely down to nerves.
Okay, like what?
Well, I'm not going to go into detail, but I have said something and I've been like, oh crap, I did not mean it that way.
Oh, right.
Sometimes, you know, my words come out faster than my thoughts. But that's another thing as well. I'm not a fan of sensitive men. I just feel like I'm pretty sensitive. So I need someone to kind of counteract that. Do you know what I mean? Someone who can kind of be playful and kind of shrug it off. I mean, obviously, I mean, obviously, if he is sensitive, that's fine. But I don't like that to like turn into passive aggression or something that's like, I like kind of guys that, you know, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, I know.
And they're not that sensitive. They just kind of brush it off with a joke, and they're able to kind of bat off my rude, playful banter and rise above awkward moments. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that takes like a proper grown-up man to be like, okay, she's probably nervous, I'm going to take that into account. Yeah. Or she's probably, you know, things, I don't know, maybe she really, really fancies me and she's trying to kind of like test the limits. Do you know what I mean? So that's something that I respect in a guy, I think. Someone who can rise above the awkwardness.
But I think that doesn't that sort of come with the territory when you go on a first date that you sort of are very forgiving of, you know, small blunders and like, just,
you'd
write
think
it down
that. That's true, you'd think that, but I think, personally, I have met a guy that is pretty sensitive, but that's just him, I guess.
Yeah.
And I felt myself being like the dominant one during the date, like the one being kind of leading like reassuring. Yeah. And like
it's all right,
like,
honey.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't cry.
Ain't nobody got time
Mommy's
to be
here.
a babysitter. Yeah.
That is absolutely true, actually, because if it turns into a long-term relationship, you just don't want to tiptoe around that person all the time. That would be just such a head fog. Moving on to the next question. What's your take on Dutch pay? Or like even like old school chivalrous behaviour, like holding the door open or opening the car door for you? Like what's... Right,
so okay, let's start off with Dutch pay. Okay, so the guy paying. Okay, my opinion has definitely changed on this. And I say that because I've become a product of my environment, which is the London dating game. And I feel like it's a ruthless game and everyone's disposable. You don't know when you're going to see that person again. You don't know if you're going to get a text back from that person. So, you know, you're most likely not really going to see them again. And based on that and not knowing how it's going to pan out, I'd rather go halves. Yeah. And that's something that I've recently, you know, kind of done. But having said that, and like chivalry aside, I just like a kind, generous person. And I feel like paying sometimes it kind of equates to that. Like, let's put gender aside, even if it's a friend or whatever. It's, you know, it's nice sometimes for your friend to be like, oh, okay, well, I'll treat you, you know. Yeah. I'll treat you today, or you can treat me. And I find that quite attractive in a man. Yeah. I do.
It is something very intimate as well, isn't it? When someone offers to pay for you. It's like, I'll take care of you. Like, that sort of... And it does mean that you can't take care of yourself. That's not what's insinuated in any way. No. It just means that, you know, this one is on me, and that's, you know...
Yeah, it's a nice, kind thing to do.
Exactly.
And it's not even a financial thing. It's not about that, because obviously, like, I'm not looking for free meals or you know, I'm not fucking looking for that. But it's just nice to, it's nice to be taken care of, and it's also kind of like basic manners, and I feel like that also encompasses holding a door, you know, looking out for you. And if I'm looking at you as a potential mate, you know, someone I want to spend the rest of my life with or a few years with, I want to know that you're going to look out for me, that you're not going to just fucking slam a door in my face.
When it comes to Dutch pay, I'm the same like you. Like, I like to split, just because on the first date you never know where it's going to go. You never know, are you going to see this person again or not? And I don't want to be indebted to this other person.
Yeah, you'd feel a bit uncomfortable.
Exactly. So I'd rather pay myself or go like splitsies.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like opening up the door, it is just nice behaviour, and it doesn't matter whether it's a guy or like even when I'm with my girlfriends. When they open it's just a nice thing to do. There's someone coming behind you, or even to a stranger, mate. Like, if you're going through a door, you know there's someone behind you. Just hold the door open for them. Like, it's just a nice
and another thing, like taking you to get your cab or taking you to the train station or wherever you're meant to go, like after a date, I think that is like the best thing you can do. Like, it's such nice manners and just And, you know, it's just a kind thing to do. And a lot of guys don't do that. I remember talking to my friend about it. And he was like, you know, a lot of men don't even do that. They don't even text you to see if you got home okay.
Really?
And that for me is a deal breaker for me. Like, if you're not willing to look out for me, even as a friend, then what is the point? Like, there is actually no point if you just don't give a shit.
I guess it depends for me on the situation. Like, I think for me, it'd be more of a, at least offer to do this. Like, so say we're coming out of the bar or the pub or whatever, and he's like, all right, bye, see you, and he just turns around and goes his way. That would be just rude. Just at least offer to walk me and be like, oh, how are you getting home? I'm going to the train. Oh, do you want me to walk home? Now, because I would want him to ask me, because just in case this date is going really, really badly, I don't want to spend another 5 minutes walking awkwardly to the train station.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So at least offer to do it, and then, you know, I can decide whether I want to walk.
Decide.
You know,
yeah,
walk with you
that's
or
true.
not.
Give them the option. I mean, yeah, so basically to conclude, yes, I would like a man to pay because it feels nice. But if he doesn't, it's fine. It's actually fine. But overall, I just hate stinginess in men. I find it so unattractive.
Yeah.
So unattractive.
All right, next one. Have you approached a guy ever and asked for his number? Or just, you know...
Okay, so yes.
Oh my god!
Let me tell you the story.
Cool.
Player. No, I'm joking, not at all. So this is a while ago. Okay, so yeah, I came across this guy a while back who worked at Office, the shoe shop, and he was literally like exactly my type, like to a T, right? Like to an absolute T. And my friend who was with me, she was egging me on and she was kind of like pushing me to talk to him. So I basically asked him for some shoes, which I blatantly did not need. They were like horrendous. They were like shiny silver foil shoes with a...
Could you literally not find anything that might be nice?
To be fair, like I was going to Miami, so I was looking out for things that were like shiny and sparkly. Okay, so basically, the guy took the shoe and he was smiling at me loads. And I was like, oh my God, he's got such a cute smile. But anyway, the poor guy, it took him like an hour to find my size. He came back and while he was gone, my friend gave me a receipt from her bag. And we asked one of his colleagues for a pen, right? So I scribbled down my number. And when he came back, like we spoke a bit. And he had like a really thick French accent.
Oh!
Yeah, which was cute. But then like his English wasn't great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his chat wasn't that great, but you know, he had a great smile and he was like undeniably good looking.
Superficial little thing.
I know. So yeah, basically we just kind of like, just gave him my number and then he kind of like hid it from his colleagues because obviously he was working or whatever. But yeah, that's what happened. And
so wait, did you just slit your number into like his pocket? Or were you like, oh, by the way, here's my number? Like, what did you even say? Because I've never done it, and I just... The thought of doing that is really haunting.
Why?
I don't know. I guess it's just sort of fear of rejection.
Rejection, yeah. Or like they won't actually text you. Yeah, that can potentially happen. But I don't know. I feel like, as I said before, there's been a role reversal, and like the women have to do a lot of the grafting now. Yeah. Or not grafting, but you kind of have to go for what you want because that's what everyone else is doing. Yeah. If you don't, then you kind of get left behind. So I feel like I'm in that rat race at the moment anyways. Yeah. But yeah, no, all I said to him was like, here's my number. And then I just turned around and left. I was like, let's run out of here. To my friend.
You didn't even wait to see what his reaction was. He might have been like really disgusted, but like, ugh, what is this?
I know. Or it might have just like fallen from my hand into a drain or something and like blown in the wind, and I would have been at home crying that he never texted me.
On a dare once, I went up to this group of guys and just sort of talked to them. I was like, hey, how are you doing? It was like at a pub. And it was like this group of guys, and you know, on a dare, they were like, oh, go there and I'll give you a tenner. I was like, I'm definitely going there for a tenner, fam. And I went over and I was like, hey guys, my name's Jenny. I was like, I'm just here on a dare, sorry to interrupt. And they were like, no. And they just chatted, and they were really, really lovely. But it's just the thought of it, because you play out so many scenarios in your head, right? Like, they just sort of point the finger and laugh at you, or some really ridiculous shit, which really they would never do unless they're like...
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Complete arseholes.
I think also you need to gauge whether they're into you for you to actually ask for their number. It's the same with guys as well. You need to kind of gauge the right atmosphere to make the jump, take the leap and actually ask them. Because otherwise, if you just gauge it completely wrong and you just walk into a situation that's like completely off and they're not interested in you at all, so that's like important. You need to see what the dealio is.
You just need to read the scenario and need to sort of read the mood. Yeah,
definitely. But try doing it. Let us know how it goes. Give it a shot.
No, I should. I will. Hopefully I will. And there's no reason why I shouldn't. Why girls shouldn't take control.
Of course.
So yeah.
Of course.
All right, moving on. The worst pickup line ever. Or the best, whichever comes to mind first.
Oh, pickup lines. Oh my god, who does them anymore?
So you're not a fan of pickup lines?
No, I don't use pickup lines, and no one's ever used them on me.
Really?
I just really can't relate to this. I mean, okay, I've heard a really cheesy one on TV. Actually, you ready for it? Mm-hmm. Okay, it goes. Hey, are you my appendix? But I don't understand what you do to me. But this feeling in my stomach makes me want to take you out.
Oh my god, that is
horrendous.
Actually quite gross.
But yeah, I think chat is really important. Like the first few lines can really make or break.
Yeah.
Whether you go to the next level and get their number, but
absolutely.
I think the best way someone could approach me is just having a normal, funny conversation, like hello, like followed by like an uncreepy compliment, and then just a question showing interest.
Yeah.
And then obviously being good looking helps as well.
In case you haven't noticed, people out there, Sara is superficial as fuck. She only cares about them looks. She's big talk about personalities and humour and all that shit. Nope. When it comes down to it, it's about whether you've got a tight bum and an advantageous bone structure.
A tight bot. No, of course not. I mean, of course, like, everything else has to be in line, such as the morals, the personality has to be a kind person who comes from a good family background. Stop painting me in a bad light. How dare you? Shut up. No, I'm going through a phase right now. But yeah. We'll see.
No, but I agree. I'm not a big fan of pickup lines or like mind games when people sort of do this. They sort of give you like a nasty comment and then they compliment you. And it's like this mind game of trying to break you down and like push you up. Yeah. And it's like,
oh yeah, like the shit sandwich. Like remember I told you someone told me about that.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. It's disgusting. It's creepy.
Just
it doesn't work.
A hi, hey, what you doing? Can I buy you a drink? That's fine. Why do you need to come up with, are you an angel that fell from heaven? Do I need to call the ambulance? Like, what the fuck? What are you even talking about? Like, ugh.
Yeah, the other day actually, this guy, also don't give away too much because I feel like some guys just talk a hell of a lot and you're just like, okay, you lost me after like the first 10 words. This guy was literally chatting my ears off about good energy. Like he knew I was kind of like into, energy and vibes and whatever. Yeah. And then he just like literally went ham on that conversation and spoke for about 10 minutes. I swear to God, while he was doing this, I was checking my phone, replying to my text messages and like coming back to him. He wasn't even drunk. He was literally just sober, just chatting my ears off. And I was like, listen, my friend's about to come. And he was like, is it your boyfriend? I was like, yeah. And then he just effed off. But yeah, don't chat people's ears off because you just kind of have like a 1 minute gap at most to impress the person, and then
select the information that you want to present. Don't overload.
Yeah, we live in a fast-paced world. Like people are not bothered to listen
with people with very short attention spans. So be careful what you say and what you want to bring across. What you said actually reminds me. People using the phone on dates, that is an absolute no-go. I mean, I know you did it because you wanted to send that signal of I'm not interested, but if I'm on a date with a guy and he's on his phone, unless he's like a doctor who's on emergency call, there's no need for you
dickish thing
to have your phone on the table. Oh, I don't even mind it to be on the table, but you checking your phone for no apparent reason, or you even being on the phone and texting people. No, surely this can wait rude. 2 hours until we're done with this bloody date. And if you can't wait, let me know so I can go home and finish watching Miranda and you can go on and playing Candy Crush on your phone.
Candy Crush, oh my god. You know, I feel like a lot of guys do it just to show you that they're not that interested. It's like, it's playing games once again, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not that into you. I'm kind of like, I've got my eye on my phone, when really he's probably just like scrolling through his WhatsApp contacts or something.
Yeah,
I do that, to be fair.
Like, but yeah, when you're like on the bus or something, you just want to like, don't want anyone to look at you or approach you. You just like, you want to be unavailable. Yeah.
Yeah. What's like the first thing you look at on your phone when you're trying to like just F someone off?
Well, I have Kindle on my phone, so I usually like read a book or like read a manga or something.
Oh, okay. I just go on my playlist normally and just, or just start looking at my contacts, which is really weird, because why would anyone need to look at their contacts? And I'm underground as well, so it's like, you're not going to call anyone here, honey. Who's not on my block list? Not that many people.
Who needs to be on my block list?
Yeah.
But you wear headphones, right, when you go out?
Always.
Yeah.
I wear headphones, I would say maybe like 6 hours during the day, just to avoid people.
Yeah, same here. The moment I step out of the house, unless I'm with someone else, the moment I step out, I'm on headphones. Because I don't want to know what's going on. I don't want to know what people are talking about, because it's probably stupid. It's going to make me angry. And B, I don't want anyone to approach me in any way, because I'm not interested in conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this every day?
This is every day.
Every motherfucking day.
On the tube, on the bus, when I'm walking.
Yeah. It's horrible. Oh, I hate it.
Antisocial.com. All right, my last question. What makes a bad boyfriend? Like, what does the worst kind of boyfriend looks like, or the worst kind of relationship?
Or
even girlfriend, like from stories that you've heard from your mates, or if you haven't.
Well, I think there are so many factors that are just like vile, and you really don't want that in a guy. But I would say generally just someone who disrespects you, who's aggressive, who manipulates you, anything of a controlling nature. I feel like freedom is one of like, it's one of our rights as humans, and it's like the best thing we can, enjoy in life. And if for some bloody wanker to take that away from you in any form, it's just so wrong. Like, kick them to the curb and get rid of them, please. Because they're so not worth having in your life, like, really. And I feel like a lot of girls justify it by saying, oh, he really cares for me, he just wants the best for me. And it's like, no, like, step out of it and just realise that he's an absolute dickhead, and he probably has no power in his life, and he's insecure, so he wants some power over you. So yeah, that's my rant over. But I would say, controlling people, controlling men.
What I can't stand is like high maintenance people, whether it be a girl or a guy, like really, uncompromising, not understanding, like, they have to have their way, and whatever they say is creed, and only their way goes. Just really intolerant, and not even attempting to understand other people. It's just so toxic.
Like, it's a really oafy, ignorant way to be.
They have this sort of tunnel vision, and it only goes one direction. There's no forth and back in that relationship. It's like, why are you even in a relationship with another person? Because you clearly just want to be in a relationship with yourself.
You can't compromise.
Exactly.
If you're a selfish, idiot that literally cannot forfeit anything in their life, like, just don't be with someone. It's so simple. God.
All right, your questions for me.
All right, then, let's get started. Okay, so if you could say something or send a last message to a failed date, what would you say?
I don't think I want to talk to any of them, just because there's no need. It's like the way I end it, it's always like I end it by saying, oh, I don't think this is working out, but, wishing you all the best. Like, even with the guy that I told you about, the one who called me an idiot. So he texted me the other morning, and he was like, oh, I really enjoyed the fire between us. Do you want to meet up again? I was like, you must be absolutely delusional.
How deluded is he?
And so I texted him back, but I didn't want to be rude, because that's just bad juju, and I just didn't want that. And so I was like, listen, I'm not interested. Like, yesterday was one of the most catastrophic dates I ever had. You and I, surely we don't click. Surely you must know that as well. But I wish you all the best. I hope I hope you find what you're looking for, whatever the fuck that is. But it's not me, so I wish you all the best for the future. And I just sort of ended it at that. And that's sort of how I end most these texts, like most these dates.
Yeah,
just going,
you conclude them properly. I feel like some people leave it on grey, but you just leave it on black or white.
Like, I know some people who like just sort of blank these people and just block them, or like, you know, they sort of keep like, oh, shall we meet again, and they just don't respond to it. I couldn't do that.
No, I know, you need to let them know.
Yeah. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Do you leave them hanging?
No, I don't. No, I just send like a rude message and then block them. But then somehow a few of the dickheads just come floating back.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky
way.
that I haven't had any stalker kind of dudes who.
Oh yeah,
keep
my
knocking.
God, I've had a few.
Oh.
Keep knocking. Yeah, it's just literally like just a window full of stalkers behind it, just like knocking.
They were just sitting on
Knocking
a tree branch in front of your house.
Swinging with their binoculars. Oh my God, that would be so scary.
That would be the worst. Could you imagine just waking up in the middle of the night and
I know.
you could see this sort of this dark hooded figure peeping into your bedroom? Oh my God. So is there anyone that you would want to tell any bad date that you?
No, I'm done. I like to keep bad energy out. Like, if you're out of my life, there's a reason for that.
Exactly.
And would I send a last message to anyone? No, because I don't really want to speak to anyone that I've fucked off. So there you go.
Fair dues.
Okay, next one. What is the youngest you'd go? So obviously we discussed age difference in sex and sexuality before in the last podcast, but let's discuss it on a personal level.
So I'm really hypocritical in that sense, because if you asked me, oh, you know, I met this guy who's like a year younger, but he's really gorgeous, they'd be like, yeah, go for it, because what, you know, age is just a number. It doesn't mean anything, you know, just because they're a year younger doesn't mean that they're immature, and they might be much more mature than you are. But at the same time, when it comes to me, if someone is even a month younger than me, that's a no-go for me.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it is. I really don't know. But to me, they just like turn into a younger brother.
In what way?
I don't know. I just feel really dirty dating someone, seeing someone who's younger than me, even if it's just 2 weeks or something. Like, I remember I had this huge crush on this guy at a wedding that I went to, and like we had such a nice chat, and he was really lovely and really cute. And then I turned around to my girlfriend and she was like, oh, you know, he's like 3 years younger than you. I was like, fucking hell.
Damn.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not talking to this guy anymore.
No, yeah.
And
you're just looking for reasons, aren't you? Just to back them off. You're like, yeah, no, that's
maybe it's that. Maybe I'm just self-sabotaging and refusing happiness to come into my life. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Because I know rationally number does... It really doesn't mean anything. I've met people...
Does it not?
No, I mean, it can't... Well, I mean, so basically, I've met people who... So I'm 28. I've met people who are 24, 25, who are really mature and who know what they want, and they're really successful, they're happy, and, you know, they're absolutely in charge of their lives. And I know people who are 30, 31, who are just absolutely useless and immature and childish, and who play sort of mind games and just really dumb people.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, in that sense, I know that age itself shouldn't be a defining factor in these things, but I can't stick to my principles.
Yeah, I don't. There's something you might, you know, say that, but then there's just something that's quite like it just turns you off about a young person. You just feel like they haven't been on the earth for as long as
been
you.
around the block.
Yeah, around the block, honey. No, but you know what I mean. Not in that way, but you know, they're not as experienced as you. They're not as wise as you, probably. I mean, it's just you can be really mature, but there's some things that just come with age. Do you know what I mean? For example, confidence, not even confident, but just comfortable with who you are.
Exactly, yeah, that is actually quite true. So you wouldn't go for anyone younger than you either?
I would say a year, but even that is a lot for me, because I feel like I am pretty mature for my age.
Yeah, you are,
if I do say so myself. So I don't know, maybe continental guys are a bit more mature, and that would be okay and acceptable. Yeah, maybe, because I don't know, actually, you get fuckboys everywhere, don't you? It's kind of universal.
Yeah.
Alright, so next one. What is the most inappropriate thing someone could say to you on a date? So something they cannot come back from.
There's so many things. Like, there's so many red flags for me.
Okay.
But I think one thing that just really rings the alarm bells for me, and that you I don't see how you can recover from that is when they say anything to let me know that they're just seeing me to fulfill a sexual fetish. So if they say something like,
Have you had that?
oh, I have a thing for South Asians, I have a thing for brown girls, that would be like, you're probably that's something that tells me that he's here, not for who I am as an individual, but for my cultural background, for my cultural identity. So that's something where I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't have time for that.
That's a
to
no.
be your exotic brown little girl to dance to belly dance for you.
Oh Lord.
But to be fair, there are so many. Was that your belly dance song? Is that what your belly dance?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, honey.
But yeah, no. To be honest, there's so many red flags for me. I am so judged. Like, you can put me off so quickly.
Yeah, I've realised that about you.
Thanks.
No, you know, some people have, like, they let things slide, I think, maybe out of desperation, or just because they don't want to be lonely, or because they're kind of not as smart about certain things. But with you, it's kind of like, nope, that's a fucking red flag. Not even yellow, not even orange, but like damn right red, and you're not getting in here, honey.
I think it's
just very
partly
black and
because
white.
I don't want to compromise, because I am 28 and I think I just don't have time to school anyone, to educate anyone on these things, so I don't want to compromise. So I just refuse to take stuff like rudeness and
Do you reckon you would ever settle? Like, you would ever get to a point where you think, F this, you know what, I need to kind of, even if a guy doesn't have the best views, I'll just let him in because I feel a bit lonely. Do you reckon you'd ever get to that stage?
I hope not. Jesus, I hope you'd slap the shit out of me and slap some sense into me if that happens.
I'm lonely, Sara, I'm lonely.
But I don't really see that happen, because I am at a place, maybe due to the fact that I am, you know, somewhat older, I am at a place now where I'm comfortable being single and being by myself. Like, it's not that I don't want to be in a relationship, because obviously there's always going to be a part where you're like, it'd be nice to be in a relationship, it'd be nice to come home to someone, but at the same time, I do have friends and family supporting me and being there for me. So if I have a problem, if I run into issues, if I need someone to talk to or someone to just hug me and, you know, just hold me, I know there are people, so it's...
Yeah, sometimes that's better than a relationship, to be fair. Like, sometimes it can be a better support system than some guy who's known you for, like, what, a few months or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, these people are your blood, they've got your back and you can trust them, so it is a different kind of support system.
So what if someone is interested in dating Sara McGee, what's something that they should never do?
I'm pretty tolerant, I'm going to say that, because I'm pretty understanding and I'm pretty rational and I'm quite patient sometimes. It depends how much I like you. If I do like you, I'm like, all right, let me give him another chance.
Translation,
and let's just see,
it depends on how good looking you are. Move on.
Oh, you know me too well. No, honestly, it's just... Yeah, it depends, because obviously I try to see the big picture and I'm like, okay, maybe he's like a bit nervous, or maybe he's just a bit thick, or maybe he's got a weird sense of humour, and then like I try to find out, and then once I do, it's either like a yes or a no. But what a deal breakers, I don't know, I'm pretty crass myself, so...
Yeah, in terms of sense of humour, there's hardly anything that can shock us.
No, yeah, exactly. There was actually a guy that was like saying that racism doesn't exist in London, and I thought that was fucking stupid, and that turned me off.
Yeah.
There are things that just turn you off, whether you want it or not, and then you're like, oh, fuck this. But that reminds me, actually, on Love Island, it's like this reality show about...
You are the queen of trash TV, by the way, can I just say
I know,
that?
I am. But basically there was... This interesting thing happened, actually. It's very relevant to this question. But this couple was getting on fine up until they had a discussion on feminism. So it started with them talking about who pays on a first date. And she said, I'd rather pay halves because, you know, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know if you're going to see that person again, like what I said. And then he said, oh, are you a feminist? With like a chuckle. And it all just went downhill from there. And she was like, well, yeah, aren't you? Don't you believe in equality? You know, we don't have that many female ministers in parliament compared to other countries. And he was like, yeah, but the prime minister's a woman. And I feel like women generally have a lot of equality in the UK, and there are loads of female CEOs, and they get into roles through, you know, merit and performance. And I don't think that has anything to do with gender. And she was like, well, of course there isn't total equality for women in the UK. She was like, do you actually believe that? And I mean, I did kind of see his perspective, like, compared to before, we're doing a lot better, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, like, the gender gap is the lowest it's ever been, apparently. But I think for her, that was such a turn off. She was literally, she started crying. She was so upset by it.
Oh shit, really?
Because she was like, I just can't be with the guy who is just so ignorant about things like that and is in denial and just, yeah, like, he doesn't know. But his argument was, he basically thinks there is more equality compared to her. Like, he doesn't think it's completely equal, but he thinks, like, there is a lot of equality in the UK compared to other countries.
Yeah.
And she was just like, no, I can't do it. Like, she actually ended the relationship based on that. But, okay, so next one. So, number 4, to test how well you know me, if you had to set up a blind date for me or scout a boyfriend for me out of, like, the public, what would he look like? And it could include personality as well. So you need to mould my perfect man.
No pressure. That's an easy task, isn't it? Jesus. Okay, looks-wise, I think I go with someone with like a mixed racial background, maybe ideally like half Muslim, like Arab, that kind of thing. Someone a bit muscly, like someone just a bit sturdy.
Why?
Like not like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Vin Diesel, but you know, just someone a bit more solid.
Okay, why?
I don't know, just because you're quite tiny and petite. I can't really see you with someone who's equally skinny.
Lanky.
Yeah, so I'd imagine you with someone who can sort of hold you and like be the big spoon.
Oh, how romantic. But yeah, I'm liking this. You got 2 points so far. Go ahead.
And someone who obviously treats you right, who dresses nicely. Not as like super flashy, but just who's got like a nice dress sense and just knows what he's wearing and is sort of aware of that. Someone who's confident, sense of humour, that's the key for both of us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know who to compare it with because like no famous people come to mind.
But yeah, you got it kind of right. I like the Latin mixed race kind of look, and I also like, you know, someone who's kind of like half Arab, half European like me.
Someone like maybe personality wise, someone like Riz Ahmed, but not looks wise because he's maybe too skinny.
Yeah. Just someone who's freaking hilarious, like so funny.
Yeah.
And smart, and also like liberal, open-minded, and just chilled, pretty patient as well. I need a guy that's patient.
That's true. Yeah.
Can deal with my fucking moods and all of that.
All right, let me just go on to Amazon and let me order that one for you then.
Yeah, thank you.
He'll be there in 2 weeks' time. If you want express delivery, he can be there tomorrow.
Yay!
All right, next one.
Okay, so. Is dress sense important to you in any way, and is there any item of clothing that's a complete deal breaker?
I mean, it is in the sense that more than that, he has to be fashionable. I think he needs, well, first of all, I think cleanliness. Like whatever he wears, it has to be clean and smell not dirty.
Yeah, smell is a big thing, man.
That's like key. There's no compromising on that one.
No.
And I don't need him to sort of follow current trends, but it'd be nice if he had sort of his own style that he's true to, you know, if that makes sense. Just that'd be quite cool.
You know what? I just feel like, for me personally, like good dress sense is a plus, but it's not everything. I could overlook it.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like most men in London have like reasonably good dress sense.
This is true.
Don't you think?
Yeah, this is actually quite true. It rarely happens that you meet someone who's like dressed absolutely horribly.
Yeah, and also what determines bad dress sense? What's like the worst possible outfit a man could wear?
like a vest with no top
a white
underneath.
Pizza vest.
But like you can like half see his nipples. Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
Oh my god, you know what else is really bad? You know, like plimsolls, like Velcro plimsolls. Am I on my own with that then? You know what I'm talking about? The ones people used to use in primary school.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Socks with sandals is also like a... Really?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Do we need to do this right now? But I think more than sort of fashion sense, for me, it's sort of cleanliness. Just be clean.
And
Wash
like
yourself,
dirty
smell good.
fingernails, dirty long fingernails. Are the
Long
worst.
fingernails. Oh my god! You know, guys with like with a pinky. Some guys have that where they have like really long
Well, like
pinky
drug
fingernails.
It is normally drug dealers.
With like a diamond ring on the.
PIMP. Yeah.
Oh, this is so my type. Getting all hot
Gross.
and bothered over here.
What would you do if I turned up with someone like that, like a wife beater vest, plimsolls, leggings, long
I'd get you checked into the next mental asylum. Because
Be
someone's
like, honey,
been,
this is why I've been single for this long. I've been waiting for this Adonis to come.
like a Snoop Dogg kind of figure with like a cane and like a pink suit and a green tie.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Saving myself for something special. Oh god. Alright. Okay.
Okay, what's the next thing? Alright, cool. So, here are a few fun facts for you about dating, about falling in love, about love. So, did you know
Love is in the air.
that it takes only a fifth of a second to fall in love, thus validating those who have the experience of love at first sight? Who would have
Hold on,
thought?
is that only for women or for men as well?
No, that's for men as well. So it takes them a fifth
okay.
of a second to fall in love. Do you believe in love at first sight?
How? No, lust at first sight. How can you?
Thank
I don't know.
you.
But what
Thank
is love?
You. Well, what is love? Let's get
What is
let's
love?
get existential
What
here.
is love? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's lust. Like whenever you're like, look at this guy. That is not love, honey. That is just you wanting to bone the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Let's not
exactly.
fool ourselves. Next fun fact for you. The Daily Study also suggests that men know when they're falling for someone as soon as 3 dates in.
Yeah, I
Women
kind of agree
apparently
with
take
that.
longer, reporting the same feeling around date 14. Jesus, that's a bit of a difference.
But then that kind of makes me think that maybe lust is part of love. Like it might be just like 50% of love. Do you know what I mean? It makes it up because I don't know. Men kind of, men are they're very kind of turned on by the optics, right?
Oh right.
And I feel like that's why they kind of in speech marks fall in love a lot quicker than women, because it's kind
This
of
is
more
true.
in the visual than women.
But I think lust does play a huge part in this, because it is about attraction, right? Because even if it's a nice guy and you click amazingly, if you don't feel attracted to him, he's just a mate. He's just one of your best mates. The difference to me between a best mate and your partner is that you don't want to bone your best mate. You don't want to have sex with him. Whereas, your partner is, in character, he's your best mate. You can share all your secrets. You feel absolutely comfortable with him. And in addition to that, you also have sexual chemistry going on. And the sparks are flying. At least that's sort of my understanding of how things work.
And I feel like I think I've always thought that anyways, that men kind of know what they want immediately. You know how women think they say women think in a web way and men think in a linear way. So with women, we're kind of like looking at all the possibilities, like, yeah, maybe he could be cute in this light, and maybe, we have all these like excuses for the guy sometimes, whereas the man is kind of like, yeah, that's what I want, and I know that's what I want sometimes. They're just more kind of like decisive and they don't have all these excuses that we come up with. But yeah, kind of I can kind of see why that is true.
Next fun fact: should a couple break up, the average breakup time is between 3 and 5 month period. When
What?
the 3
After
and
3 or
month,
5 months?
yeah. So it's in that period. So either 3 or 5 months. Like in that period, that's when you break up, because that's the period when things start to get serious. So that's sort of when you, I suppose, sit down and be like, okay, am I going to take this further? Because then it's like 100% serious, or am I going to, quit it now while it's, while none of us are going to get seriously hurt.
Interesting.
Also, most breakups are apparently announced on Mondays, because Mondays are great enough. Why not put a breakup on top of that?
Let's fuck someone's day up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting.
But I think that's what I do as well. I probably do it on a Sunday.
A Sunday, why?
I don't know, because if it's on a Monday, it's like you've got the whole week to deal with this, whereas on a Sunday, if you do it on a Sunday morning, it's like you've got the whole day just to suck at home and cry your eyes out. On Monday, you're like, all right, new
I'm
week,
over it.
new life, new me. get me a new
Yeah.
guy. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, that's true. When would I do it? I think I really wouldn't give a shit. I'd just be like, I'm done with this. Like, whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day.
Any day.
Bye. If you're pissing me off, you're gone. But yeah.
So there's I don't know if you heard about this. You probably have, because it went like super viral a few weeks ago. So basically, this woman went on a date with a guy, and it was all going well. They went back to his place. And, you know, she felt comfortable and confident enough to use the loo for a number 2.
What?
Now,
No,
so far so
come
good. You wouldn't do that. You would never use the loo for the number 2. I would never.
Hell no.
But, you know, she was
Oh my
like, you know
God.
what, this is going well. I kind of like him. I feel comfortable. And, you know, it's
Yeah,
just...
so let me just F it up by shitting in his toilet. Like, come on.
Well, no, she just wanted to, you know, unload and then, you know, probably keep on eating or something. But things went a bit south because, you know, she was done taking the dump and she was trying to flush it, and guess what? The flush didn't work. So obviously she like panicked right away, and she was, you know, she kept flushing and just making it worse. And then she was like, okay, you know, I've got no other choice. So she took like loads of paper, toilet paper, and because it was like one solid piece of poo, she took it and wrapped it in toilet paper and put it in her purse. Because what else was she to do?
Shut up, that's not true.
And
You're lying. I don't
basically,
believe that.
so that's when she started messaging her friend. She was like, oh my god, I'm just at this date with a guy and I really like him, but I don't have poo, so I'm just walking around with a piece of poo in my purse and I'm scared that it's either going to fall out, I'm scared it's going to start to smell. What do I do? I'm dying here. And it was just the funniest thing. So basically what happened is, like, I guess like a few days later, she tweeted the whole story of the date. And you can find it on BuzzFeed if you like. But that, I just thought that was just so hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's true. I wouldn't even do... You know what I would do? I would just try and get like a glass or a container and just fill up the toilet with water and hope it flushes on its own. Actually, that might cause a flood. That reminds me of Along Came Polly. Have you seen that film?
I know. And the whole house is like...
And then she's got like a ferret that keeps like running into this.
It's like about to drown in the shit. Well, luckily for her, it wasn't diarrhea. It was just like a solid piece of poop, so she could kind of pick it up. But to make that decision to just go, I don't have any other way but to pick it up with my hands, like obviously covered in toilet paper, but still, and put it in my purse. Like, I would burn that purse. I would just burn the memory of it, let alone go out and tweet the story.
You'd carry that pong around with you as well, wouldn't you?
That's what I don't know. Poop does smell.
Do poo smell? Yeah, they do.
Oh my
god, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's why I never poop in public. It's just...
Especially not if you're on a date.
It's inelegant.
Yeah. It's inelegant. But I mean, it shouldn't be, though. Like, there's a part of me that goes like, why shouldn't you?
Oh, come on.
Because it's a normal bodily fluid. Would a guy be that conscious about it? Would he not just take a dump? Because if you have to, you have to.
No, I'm sorry, but I disagree. I might have to poo like really, really bad, but I will, for the life of me, I will wait till I get home. And it's not even a date situation. Jenny, I wouldn't even poo in your house. Like, there is something about doing that. I cannot do it comfortably in anyone else's house. I don't know why.
Is it literally just your parents' house? Not even your mate's place?
Yeah, I can never do it anywhere other than my home.
Are you joking?
I just could not do it.
Like, even at your ex's home, you did.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I did there because, like, obviously, I kind of spent most of my time.
So those
there,
were the only two places where you've ever, even at your like aunt's place.
Okay, obviously when I'm abroad and I'm staying with my family,
say you're going up to, I don't know where you've got family in the UK. But you know, you're just going out for a day on the Saturday, and
no, if it's just a day thing, then no, I wouldn't. If I was staying the night and I needed to go, then obviously. But if it's a day thing, absolutely not.
So say you went out for lunch, you just had a massive meal, and you just loaded, and you just need to release the pressure.
You're disgusting. No, I honestly, I wouldn't. I would wait till I get home. Like, I'm not a kid. I can wait like 2 hours to get home or whatever.
But you know that's really unhealthy though, to keep it in.
Not really, to wait a few more hours, it's fine. I'm not waiting like 24 hours or anything.
Huh. That's interesting.
This is not my thing. I just don't feel comfortable doing it, and like I want to be able to sit on the seat as well. I have this thing about sitting. Okay, yeah, we're going too much into detail right now.
I have that same as well, but I put like loads of toilet paper on it, which is probably not the most environmental thing to do, but fuck it.
Fuck it, F it. But yeah, okay, well, I've got a story as well, pretty funny, and it's related to stinginess. So basically a friend of mine met this guy who was American, really cute, really good looking, whatever, and he you know, got in contact after they met and said, can I take you out? She was like, yeah, sure. So he was like hyping up the date, and he was saying, you know, I'm going to take you to an art gallery, I want to take you to a restaurant, and we'll just have a really good night. So basically, I don't know if he was taking the piss, but when he said art gallery, it turned out to be a squat for like homeless people. Yeah, literally, like it was just a squat with loads of graffiti. And she was like, oh, okay, is this the art gallery? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, cool. At that point, she thought, okay, he's probably just a really eccentric hipster, and this is his kind of idea of art, whatever. So then they went to they went to get some food, and they went to like a kebab shop, and she was like, oh, aren't we going to a restaurant? And he was like, well, this is kind of all I can afford. So he was like, and also, can you pay for your own kebab? Like, he actually asked as well, like not even just kind of like letting it be known without mentioning it categorically. He was just like, can you pay for it? And then after that, like, this bit is funny, they basically went to like say goodbye and whatever, and she was like, okay, this is, I don't know, why would you ask someone out on a date and just... Yeah, exactly. You know, it just go on the most basic date ever and, like, not even... And ask them to pay, like, come on. Anyways, and then they went to the barriers at the train station, and I kid you not, he didn't even have enough money to, like, go home. So she had to pay for his Oyster card. You're joking. And all these kids on their bikes and stuff were just, like, standing around laughing at them. And she was like, it was the most embarrassing date ever.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I just think, okay, fair enough, like, you're broke, okay, that's
fine.
Yeah, but
don't go on a date. Don't
yeah, do you know what I mean? Greedy. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't go on a date. I feel like he kind of used her for that date to get, like, a kebab and an Oyster card.
Oh my God. He was like, don't have money for dinner tomorrow. Also running low on my Oyster card debt. So maybe call that hot chick that really fancied me because I'm an American. Okay, done. Wow.
There are some man gold diggers out there, I tell ya.
But this isn't even the classy kind of gold digger where you're like, you know, you're confident and you can offer anything. He wasn't offering anything. It was just taking, and like lies as well. Like, he didn't say, if he had said from the get-go, oh, do you want to go to like this really cool like graffiti place where they've got amazing art, and then, you know, grab a kebab, that would have been like, she would have been like, you know, either should have gone, oh, that's cool, or oh, that's not really my cup of tea. But for him to say, oh, I'll take you to this fancy art gallery, and then we'll go to a 5-star restaurant,
Michelin star restaurant. Yeah.
Oh, the cheek. Wow.
No, it's hilarious. I was laughing non-stop when she told me that story. I was like, oh my God. And the fact that these kids were laughing at them, that is so embarrassing.
The most embarrassing thing as well, yeah. There are so many... No surprise that there's so many single people with so many fucked up... I'm not saying that it's just guys, you know. # not all men. You know, they're crazy women as well, but they're just crazy people everywhere. They're just coming out of the woodworks.
It's the freak show.
Yeah. You know, seeing so many weird people, there's no surprise that you sort of, you know, you're turning to alternatives like online dating or blind dates or speed dating. I've personally never tried either either blind dates or speed dates, but yeah, I mean, I did online dating in the past as well. It wasn't necessarily bad experiences. It was just like, I think the key about online dating is you can't take it too seriously. You can't put all your eggs into that basket. Like, you have to be open to, you know, to guys, to relationships, to prospects in real life as well. And just, you know, being, you know, and online dating, you know, be that Tinder, be that OkCupid or POF, it's just another thing, you know, that you can log on to. Like, that's how I use it. I just log on to it when I'm bored. And I, you know, when I see someone I like, I reply and I text. But it's not something I don't hold my breath to find my future partner on these sites. I think that would be quite dangerous.
Yeah, and there are also different spectrums of dating websites. For example, Plenty of Fish I feel like it's known for having all the stalkers and murderers.
Oh my God.
And like, it's like the hotbed of creeps and like sex deviants, because it's always on the metro. You know, this couple met on POF, or this guy was like, you know, trying to prey on the weak on POF, and he ended up murdering this person. Yeah,
I've never used Plenty of Fish.
We'll stay away from it.
Yeah, I just did Tinder and OkCupid, and that was it.
Yeah, I feel like OkCupid is like the better one, because my friend met like her baby daddy on there actually. So generally,
you actually share sort of interests, and you sort of get recommendations, as it were. Whereas, you know, it's stuff like Tinder is just based on who's close to you in that age group.
Have you heard of Minder, by the way?
I've heard of
Tinder
Grindr.
for Muslims.
Oh!
Tinder for Muslims, yeah. Hilarious.
Oh, that's so cool. So it's just like Muslim people, but it's like proper dating. It isn't like a hookup thing. Well, probably wouldn't.
So.
Since
I have no idea. But most of my Muslim girlfriends are like, you never.
Oh, really?
Never really use it. So I don't know what kind of people are actually on there.
Okay.
But yeah. Is it worth paying for these services, by the way? Like, do you feel ripped off if you're paying for it, or do you get better?
I don't know. I don't know if I would use one where I'd have to pay for it. I don't know if that would be worth it. Because I think the moment that money comes into it, you put a lot of trust and you put a lot of faith into this working out, and you have expectations automatically. Whereas if it's for free, it's casual. And I think it's nice to have that sense of casualness and that sense of relaxed
you're not
attitude
committing to anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, even if a date goes south, you're like, you know, whatever. There's, you know, literally plenty of fish out there.
Yeah, so it's like a shitty meal. Getting a shitty meal for free, you're like, oh well, I didn't fucking pay for it anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, back to like sugar daddies and whatever. And that reminds me of this conversation my friend had with this woman in a gym changing room about
that's the best
kind
place
of like,
where most existential conversations take place.
Of course, and yeast infections and whatnot. But it's so horrible, changing rooms. They're just nasty.
I know.
Yeah, so basically she was saying that financial stability takes, you know, precedence over like love, basically. And what are your thoughts on that? So basically, go for a man if he can like provide, you know, stability financially. And I mean, for me, that's kind of settling. It's kind of like when you stop believing in love and romance, and you're like, you know what, fuck this. Like, let me just kind of get the latest Louboutins or whatever, and just be happy.
I feel like
with that.
selling. I'm selling myself. I'd feel no less than a hooker, like a lifetime hooker.
Yeah. But that's their argument is, oh no, but they're not paying for that. They're paying for like companionship.
Oh bullshit! Like they don't want sex. Are you joking?
Well, there might be some granddads that are just in it for, you know, companionship. They probably can't even get it up. So I don't know. Oh,
I'm sure they're kinky, and then they're like they want other things. No, I doubt that it's literally just about companionship. Like there's some. Oh, I wouldn't. It'd be too weird and too. Nope.
It's pretty sad though, isn't it? Just thinking that
to come to that level where you have to settle, like you have to give up who you are and all your dreams and hopes, because that's what you're doing. You're giving up your dreams and hopes. Like the moment you say, "I'm gonna go for someone like Hugh Hefner, like a Hugh Hefner kind of character," and give my all to him, that is the moment that your dreams and hopes die. Because you're saying, "I'm not gonna find love. I'm not gonna, you know, even if I find it in the future, I'm not gonna be open to it because I'm just gonna be his toy, or, you know, his little plaything." No. Oh god, that'd be so sad.
But it's not even an age thing. So say the guy was your age, really, really rich, but just like an oafish, horrible personality.
Yeah.
But you're like, you know what? Like, I can get married to him and I'll be sorted for the rest of my life. Would you do that?
No. I mean, if I know he's a dick, like, you have to wake up you have to spend your days with this person. Like, either you're a drug addict and you're like not in your mind anyways, you're like, you know, out of it all the time, so you don't care, or you're like an alcoholic who's like always on the wine bottle, like,
numbing it,
because like even going to the office, and when you have someone really insufferable you work with, and that is what 8 hours, 6 hours of your day, And even that makes you so depressed, and it just sucks the soul out of you. Like, I know that from experience. So being married to someone that is just not someone that you love, or even like, no, you must go mental. No matter how much money and how many Louis Vuitton shoes and
But love can blossom. I think it can.
I think it can, but in sugar daddy relationships or sugar mama relationships, I don't know. Maybe I'm just really, really judgmental and, you know, sort of prejudiced.
I mean, for me, just like, I do obviously believe in love and romance and finding that connection with someone. So for me, that is kind of like an abhorrent thing to do. But the more I'm getting older, the more I'm like, oh my God, like the amount of decent guys out there is just so little, so few, that I'm like, oh, well, I do see why these women do that, because a lot of women do it because they've just been like disillusioned by men.
Yeah.
And they think, you know what, if I'm getting something out of this, then I'm fine. If I'm getting financial security, and it doesn't feel as bad if it doesn't end well.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But the thing is, so you're getting money, right? You're getting financial security, but that means you have to give something as well. That's just how the world works. It's a give and take. So you are becoming dependent on him. You are giving something up, and that's something that I'm not willing to do for the sake of money.
That's fair, yeah.
If I know, you know, if I ever get to the point where I say, you know what, it is absolutely hopeless. There is zero hope. There is no there's like 0% chance that I'm ever going to find the right person or any good person. I would rather just stay single and like get a few cats and adopt a few children and like live like in a commune with friends than sell myself short and, you know, be someone's...
That's true. I think it's a lot of people that come from kind of like wretched backgrounds as well, not to be judgmental, but when you just don't have anything to fall back on, and you're just
and
like,
they obviously,
oh my God,
they
like,
value money so much more because they never had it. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, maybe it's true that we are talking from a point of privilege where we don't see that, where we are privileged enough to say, oh, we don't need to sell ourselves short.
Yeah, exactly. Some people need that.
Yeah. Maybe.
So no judgment to them, but I mean, for me, that's something I would not do, because that would literally be the ultimate sad ending for me. To be fair, like settling, and that would be sad.
Settling for money as well, yeah. But going back to sort of, you know, online dating and blind dating and speed dating, I feel like these days you just kind of feel forced to go in these days because there's to go in these dates, because that just is the, like, you know, once you're out of uni, that is the only way to meet anyone, really. Because you know how they say that you meet your future partner either in school, uni, or at work? But it's like, for both of us, actually, school didn't work out, neither at uni, and work, well, I mean, I don't know, like, work is just such a minefield. Like, the odds of you messing things up and the relationship going south and it getting awkward, those odds are just so incredibly high. Like, there was this guy I was kind of seeing, like, it was so casual for me, but I guess we weren't on the same page.
Oh shit, hold on, was this from our office?
Yeah, well, I can't say any names because they still work at the company. But,
oh my gosh.
So his initials are TH, by the way, so you might, you know
what?
But he's like quite muscly, has a beard, really handsome, and sort of got that rugged look. But anyways, so, you know, we went into this and I thought it was like really, really casual, but I guess he thought differently.
Hold on, wait. Muscly and a beard, TH.
Yeah. Why? No, don't pry any further, because he still works actually, and, you know, people might be listening to this, and I don't want to be awkward for him. So anyway, I guess he thought we were serious, and I didn't. So I broke things off. Like, we met up at Wetherspoons, near our office, and we had a drink.
Hold on, the Wetherspoons near our office, like the one in the corner, right?
Yeah. The one where we always meet for after work drinks. So I said to him, you know...
Hold on, wait, dude. Wait. Are you talking about Tom? I mean, I wanted to go to the Wetherspoons with him the other day, and he was like, no, I have bad memories from that place. Can we go somewhere else?
Wait, what? Why do you know that? Why do you talk to Tom? How do you...
Well,
you never talk to Tom.
I told you. I've been emailing this guy, right? Remember I told you someone from the office approached me and asked for my number at the Christmas party, remember?
What? you never give your number to anyone. You are like the most frigid when it comes to that.
Well, Tom is hot. Like, hello. Obviously, I gave him my number.
Dude, what the fuck? I was seeing him. Like, he's an ex.
What?
You can't do that. You can't just see someone I used to see.
Wait, so it is Tom.
Well, there, obviously. Who else from the office would I be seeing? They all look like bloody train wrecks apart from him.
Gosh, I never knew that. What the fuck?
Whatever. Well, now you know, so back off. Like...
No, wait, so what do you mean? Okay, so you were seeing Tom for a while, but you
Exactly.
just said you didn't fancy him, and you broke up with him, so, like, it's fine for him to go there. He approached me first, and he is really nice, and he treats me with respect.
I
so
know,
he's cool.
bitch. I know he treats you nice because
Bitch.
he was the same to me. Like, listen, it doesn't matter whether I broke up with him or whether I wanted to get married to him. The point is that I hit that, so he is off limits for you, like, clearly.
What the fuck? You can't make up shitty rules. Piss off. He is nice, and I like him.
Don't fuck. What the hell? I'm serious. Look, we used to see each other. We used to like do stuff. Like, he's mine. You can't go there.
This is
That's
ridiculous.
just basic
Like,
decency.
this is stupid. You're actually being so silly. Like, stop acting dumb and just irrational. What is wrong with you? This is honestly so unlike
What's wrong
you being
with me?
possessive.
What's wrong with you? Why would you think that's okay to snatch my man away from me? He is mine.
You broke up with him, bitch.
It doesn't matter, fam. He was mine, so he will always be mine. He's like marked.
Oh my god, shut up. You sound ridiculous. You're being really silly and stupid right now. I literally can't do this. You're acting like a stupid cunt.
Wait, did you just call me? Hello? Yo, motherfuckers, come back.